in 1919 when Sarah Jane was 37 years old that her father died, and he was buried here at St Luke's Church in Lowton on the 1st of October. His burial record comes up here on Ancestry under the Wigan Archive Services. John Garnett, entry number 900, abode 20 Colburn Road, when buried 1st of October, age 58 years, by Francis Smith, rector. We even have a photo of the grave from 10 years ago. It's somewhat distinctive, flat top, rounded corners. If you look at the end of the line, you can see S5 R3 P8, which for me probably stands for section 5 row 3 plot 8. When you come to graveyards, you'll notice that graves have numbers on them, which is useful when you're trying to locate an ancestor, but without having an actual map to know where section 5 is, it's a case of looking at other graves around and then narrowing it down through a process of elimination. I'm trying to find if I can see a newer one, because they will tend to have the numbers on them. Nope. The number of hours I have spent in graveyards while doing my family tree research. Incidentally, I did come down here in the June of 2015, so 10 years ago, and I found a grave for a John Garnett and an Alice Garnett, but I was never quite convinced 100% that it was my ancestors, my great-great-grandparents, Sarah Jane's parents. If you are doing your family tree and you're planning a trip to a graveyard to find a gravestone, make sure you leave yourself plenty of time and wear some sturdy footwear as well, because there's some uneven ground. Just chatting to a chap there, he's here to see his parents, doesn't know which section's which. This bit behind me is obviously the older bit. I'm looking for a grave that dates from 1919. So St Luke's Church, located at the junction of Slag Lane with Church Lane and Stonecross Lane in Lowton, is an historic Anglican parish church with a rich heritage. The church was constructed in 1732 as a chapel of ease to St Oswald's in Winwick. Initially it served as a chapel under Winwick Parish Church, but became an independent parish following the Winwick Rectory Act of 1845. Some proper old graves here. 1840s. But where the bloody hell are Sarah Jane's parents? Jamie, you look like you're dressed for a funeral. I am. I'm just 106 years too late. What a tree. Fantastic. Right here near the front. But you know what, I don't think this is them. Look, in loving memory of our dear parents John Garnett, but died 1925, aged 50, and Alice Garnett died 10th of January 1951, aged 89. Same names and similar dates, but it just doesn't quite add up, does it? So I've just gone online now. I've found a website where you can search St Luke's Churchyard, right? Garnett, last name. Year died, 1919. Search the cemetery. No matches found. Alright, let's take out the... Yeah, and it looks like the only garnets we've got here is Alice and John, and that's the grave we've just seen. So it looks as though the only garnets we have in this graveyard are Alice and John, but the dates are just wrong. But look at the bottom, plot info, S5, R2, P6. This genealogy gives you a headache. Thomas Garnett also in this grave. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, John and Alice, if this is you, my respects. I'm going to have to go home now, aren't I? Find who Annie Glover is. Was that their youngest daughter? It's just the dates though, they're wrong. But it's got to be them. Unless they're literally here. In one of these unmarked graves. The Garnett line is much more of an enigma than the Holdens, with them disappearing from censuses and just, I don't know, it just doesn't all quite add up. When Alice Garnett died on the 27th of November 1950, she was 89, and she was buried on the 9th of December, probably in that grave that we just saw. Now, our last known residence was number 9 St Luke's Avenue here in Lowton. When did she move here? From 20 Goulburn Road, or is this just where she died? Was this maybe her daughter's house? Was this Annie Glover's house? For every answer you get doing genealogy, you get another 10 questions that need answering.